I think the values here speak to why I went into medicine, and they just bring me back to that calling. Treating patients that are most underserved, patients that other systems or hospitals might neglect. These are the people that I really feel like need the most help in our society, and that's who we're here to treat.
Residency is something that's very challenging to a young physician. And so for me, it was this very transformative experience where I went from having the degree of a doctor but not feeling like I was really a doctor, to getting all of this experience under your belt and challenges and everything, and you come out at the end and you go, okay, now I feel kind of legitimate. And that was such a strong force at that point in my life, that the opportunity to be able to participate in that same transformation for other physicians has always been very attractive to me.
For me, it was very clear that every physician, from faculty to intern, really understood what the mission of this program was and was here because they wanted to serve this patient population.
I teach here because I think I had such a great experience here. I want to be able to give back to residents. I want to be able to share my passion with medicine, share, I guess, my passion about this community with the residents, and they inspire me to be better.
I think the mission of our residency is really to care for the underserved and the people who don't have a voice. And I see that in the residents, and I see that in the leadership, and I respect that, and that really resounds with who I am as a person and the type of physician that I want to be. There are no other residencies at this hospital. The only residents are our residents that rule this hospital, which, you know, is kind of a benefit because they can go anywhere. They don't have to compete with any other service for the opportunities that exist for patient care here in this hospital, which I think is a benefit. The second strength of our program, like I said, is that it's a small community hospital, and so you get to know everybody. I came here and it was just like so much fun, very supportive, super diverse in terms of the persons that work here and the ethnic backgrounds that work here, and it's like a very family feel. And I feel like, you know, it's hard to find a program like that where you really feel like you're cared for as a person as you're going through this intense training.
We spend a lot of time really trying to develop interpersonal skills, professionalism, and these kinds of things, because what I found over the years was that what starts your career is how brilliant and how smart you are and all the things you know, but the thing that has an impact on how well you do and whether or not you last or whether you run into trouble are these other things that don't get a lot of attention when you're in medical school. But I think it's worked for us, and I think the real benefit is that we've been able to attract really nice people to work with.
The other things that we have is a vision of family medicine, the way that, you know, I believe in it and the way that all of our faculty physicians believe in it. Broad spectrum, practical, caring and compassionate, and willing to do the right thing, even if it's not the easy thing to do.
We have an incredibly diverse patient population, people from all over the world. You know, as I mentioned before, it's going to be the most integrated diversity of any community in the country. That's huge. And then coinciding with that, we have an incredibly underserved patient population with very, very high medical pathology in a safety net hospital where the residents truly have to provide hands-on care for the sickest, most vulnerable patients in the community.
The other thing that our program does is we do a lot of inpatient medicine and a lot of pretty intense inpatient medicine.
There's just so much that we do. And I think it speaks to how nimble our program is and how willing we are to foster people's interests when they come in, even as a resident. So it ranges from our gender health and hormone clinic and servicing those that come and identify as the LGBTQIA population. We have a human trafficking clinic called the Medical Safe Haven, a Suboxone clinic, and it is actually an expectation that each resident who graduates from here does have their X license to be able to do that upon graduation. I could go on and on and on. There's a global health tract and a rural health tract, and these are all things that stem from passion projects from faculty physicians as well as residents. So if you have an interest and you're excited about something, we're here to make that happen and better serve our patient population and become better doctors for it.
I feel like in family medicine, there's a huge push in the last probably 2 or 3 years to really get our family medicine residents feeling comfortable with the use of ultrasound in the inpatient and the outpatient settings. And we are on the cusp of finishing our amazing POCUS curriculum. We also are providing all of our residents with butterfly handheld ultrasounds, which is super exciting, and we're starting weekly didactics and a nice certification program that we're going to have for all of our residents so that by the time they leave, they can say, I have done this many scans and I feel comfortable doing the most common scans of the human body. And it really has helped enhance the quality of our care and the quality of our procedures that we perform in clinic.
Another thing I love about working here is our community. In South Sacramento, there's a lot of immigrants and refugees. I come from a family of immigrants and refugees, so I want to be able to give back. So I feel like I'm doing what my grandma told me to do.
When we developed what we call a medical safe haven for both human trafficking victims and survivors within our residency clinic, what we were able to do was be able to meet somebody where they were at in their point of recovery from trafficking, whether they were just being trafficked the night before or if they were out of trafficking a year or two, and be able to meet their needs, their mental health needs, their preventative medicine, and really provide a trauma-informed, non-judgmental space. And we deliver the babies, we provide the prenatal care, we take care of those babies when they're born, and bring those kids back into our clinic, and we really see this system breaking those cycles of abuse. Dollar for dollar in the recovery of our patients that have experienced human trafficking, that medical safe haven and our longitudinal care, I think, is just incredibly valuable. And it's something we're really working to replicate throughout the country. And really what we've also seen is so many rewarding instances where patients' lives are completely transformed, and you see people come from such deep, dark places and do just amazing, amazing things with their lives. So it's powerful. And again, it brings us back to that calling of what brought us to medicine. And I don't think you can, put a price tag or a dollar or a value on that.
What it's done is by bringing trauma-informed care, which is really paying attention to what's happened to the patient to get us there. What we've seen is it's starting to reflect in the way that we're dealing with all of our patients. Because some of our patients that are difficult, what we realize is they've endured other types of trauma. And so if we can kind of adopt what we do in medical safe haven to our general clinic, the hope is that we're able to reach those patients better and then form a better bond with them and be more effective.
The world is kind of your oyster when you graduate here. It really just depends on who you are as a person and what you want to pursue when you graduate from here.
We have residents that start their own practices. They join group practices. They do inpatient hospitalist positions without any fellowship. They might run an ICU in the foothills. They join as faculty members. They go on to fellowships. They go into global health. We actually had a resident that graduated and he went on and he won the United Nations Volunteer Physician for the World, which is an incredible, incredible, honor.
Global health-wise, residents have gone all over.
Mongolia, Hong Kong, China.
One of our residents went to Haiti this year.
Whatever they want to do, we're pretty supportive of it.
And residents oftentimes have a number of elective weeks during their residency training where they can go and work and volunteer where they'd like.
And the one I'm most excited about right now is one where we're actually working with doctors and hospital systems in northern India, where it's the poorest states in India. We're working with them, helping them treat and take care of their patient populations, but also training their physicians and their medical providers on human trafficking and being able to provide care for those patients, because they're coincidingly having the highest patient populations in the world of human trafficking.
Because we're awesome. Because we do good medicine and we have a lot of fun.
I think that if you are interested as a medical student in working at a small community hospital with a diverse population in a primarily practicing underserved care, then this is a place for you. I think that if you're interested in full spectrum family medicine with an emphasis on ICU care, high level intensity ICU care, with a lot of autonomy, then this is the place for you. I think that if you enjoy being in a fun-loving, sassy, type of crazy misfit environment, I think this is the place for you. I think if you're intellectual and love learning and love thinking about issues and working with others to come to a solution for a patient, then I think this is the place for you.
It's going to be intense, it's going to be tough at times, but you're going to leave with a skill set that will let you do any kind of practice you want for the rest of your life. And you're going to do it in an environment where the faculty and your fellow residents have your back 100%. We're here to support you and to help you through it, and there's going to be trials and tribulations, but there's also going to be rewards and success. And I truly believe that when you come out of a program like this in a safety net hospital providing this level of care, you're going to be the most exceptional doctor you possibly can be by the time you get out of here.
One of the reasons why I think our residents are the best, they know who they are. And for the most part, I mean, unless there's something that really needs tweaking or correcting, we allow them to stay that way through their training so that who they are at the end isn't in conflict with who they were when they started. And I think with that makes them the best.